Another day, and will you still love me? Will you still leave me where I will fall? I know that you will. I know that you will. Will you still love me? Will you still love me? What's up, y'all? What's up, guys? Let's see who.
So I was raised a middle class kid, and I'm actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class.
All right, here we go.
People of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people, and that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing: we know that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat.
Isaiah, no, I haven't. I have not seen your comments, please. I'm gonna check them out after this this event.
But there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. We love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you
right now, she's trying to introduce herself to the American people, and she's trying to explain her stances. What's up, Trey? You my nigga. What's up, Trey?
What should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires?
President Trump, looking at 2 minutes. First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. 75 years pays back for what we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. To get billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because it was so much money they can't. They were totally destroying everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China.
Yeah, explaining. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety schmackety. What's up, Gregory Perry?
Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation has, which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before. Probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails.
Okay, good. He mentioned that. He's mentioning it. Immigration, legal immigration.
Jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected.
He didn't say black jobs this time.
Throughout the United States, you look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns.
Bibbity bobbity boop.
These are the people that she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on that.
Don't want to talk about immigration.
Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment
That's not true. I'm not taking up for him, but that's not true.
In a century, Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our
The worst unemployment was during the Jimmy Carter administration. That's a lie.
And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you on this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook. A bunch of lies, grievances, and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends
Oh
on
boy, here we go.
if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas. I guess some good, some bad. But it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917 where 100 million people died. Has there been anything like it? We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks. We did
Why is there no audience?
possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounce back.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
It went to their benefit, but I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
Can you guys hear me in the live stream?
Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am on
Okay.
what I
All right.
describe as an opportunity
All right.
economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to
She's talking about She's talking about inflation.
that Donald Trump actually has no plan for
The
you.
nerve of this administration.
He's more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
It's just a sound bite. You hear what that was said. Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work, create jobs, and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. Just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run.
Run, spot, run.
She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs.
Oh, I hear what you guys are saying. You want to hear the debate.
What she calls is essentially a national sales tax.
I'm trying to figure out how I can do this. Wait a minute.
Opposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued
Is that better?
higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguably cost the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices?
Okay, let me try this. Let me try
Who's going to
something.
have higher prices? Who's going to have, and who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs that they had 3.5 years now under their administration, we are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of seen a worse period of time.
Give me 1 second.
People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely.
I've never done this before. I've never tried to.
Destroyed the economy. And all you
Let's
have to do is
see.
look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response. And you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he
I'm trying to figure out how to.
Donald Trump's presidency.
I'm trying to figure out how like to put the screen on here, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that.
Improve and modernize their military. Basically, sold us out. When a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce.
You see, I'm not looking at it on social media, I'm looking at television.
In terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought the chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals, and that's bad for our economy too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade last year. You said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights in your home state of Florida. With regard to your 6-week abortion ban, because you initially had said that it was too short, and you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, is doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's an execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states.
Trying to figure something out here, man.
Genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. And now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill.
This debate sucks, man.
Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Did that work? I'm trying to figure out how to share the screen.
Actually, a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that is. A survivor of a crime, a violation to their body, does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral.
I got to figure this out later on, y'all. I've never done this before.
Their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade,
The out of shape version.
I will proudly sign it into law. But understand,
Y'all notice that Trump's energy is kind of low, man.
Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto the national abortion ban if it
Well, I won't have to because, again, 2 things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50, essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the
Yeah, that's a lot of misinformation on her part, man.
You reminds me of when they said they're going to get student loans.
She's lying her ass off right now, man.
Ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then
The first debate, Trump was lying all over the goddamn place. He's still kind of lying about some stuff, but she's lying her ass off.
and said, "We'll do it again. We'll do it a different way." He went out
But watch they don't get called out by the liberal media.
So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea, and how unfair that would have been. Part of the reason they lost to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free, but they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes.
Yeah, 78. He winning right now. She's lying her ass off right now.
I did discuss it with JD. In all fairness, JD, and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he's speaking for me. But I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it. Just like she couldn't get student loans, they couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. So wonderful. Let's go to Congress, do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion ban.
Yeah, but they're trying to make that legal again.
And dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments.
Nah, 78. He not. He mentioned it earlier though. He mentioned it earlier, but he need to bring. They said in the debate they're gonna go back to it. They're gonna go back to it this year.
Have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs.
Yeah, I noticed the biasness from the moderators.
Is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body. And that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris.
Excuse me, I have to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month? Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask me that
Why
question?
don't you answer the question?
She won't answer it. Like I told you, they want to bring that back.
In the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th month, and probably after birth. Just look at the former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl.
Oh my God.
That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president...
If Trump doesn't hammer her on this issue, man, he done.
Instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about...
She's trying to get under his skin.
You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first. And I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the board.
First, let me respond this to the rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's busing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics.
Stop lying, Trump.
That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in.
Remember I told you about that 78?
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as the rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us...
Yeah, LB, that was reported, not by the mainstream media, that some immigrants are they're kidnapping and eating pets, eating dogs.
City manager.
I'm not taking this from television.
I'm telling you, the city manager was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris,
that's a lie.
The rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
That's not funny.
This is, I think, one of the reasons why.
You know what? Fuck this bitch.
I actually have the endorsement of 200.
Fuck this bitch, man. You know what, man? Fuck her.
Including the endorsement of former Vice
She's
President
horrible,
Cheney
Tsaki 17.
Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know,
She's laughing at that. That's not a lie. It's being reported.
Make it clear already. Just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a 4-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed. I think the choice is clear in this election.
You know,
Trump will give you a quick minute to respond.
Yeah. Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have fired all those generals, all those top people, because that was one of the most incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job, I fire him. And you take a guy like Esper, he was no good, I fired him, so he writes a book. Another one writes a book, because with me they can write books, with nobody else can they? But they have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back to
all right, Trump, stop sucking your own dick now.
Proposal that the vice president has reacted to as well. President Trump, you call this the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. You say
Oh yeah, we fired his ass 4 years ago, so you know.
No problem using the U.S. military. You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know
You're fired.
Is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah. It is much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country, and then now in the United States, and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think
well,
they probably did.
He brought it up.
They're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof, despite their fraudulent statements that they made. Crime in this country is through the roof, and we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But
excuse me, the FBI defrauded. They were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud, just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so.
This is so fucking biased, man.
Someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next
Ooh, damn.
court appearance
She brought the sexual assault. I don't know if crime is done all over the world, but I do know America has a tremendously high crime rate compared to the rest of the nation. I mean, the rest of the world.
The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's
Not to mention, what state is it? Alabama, with the governor and the prison system and the local government got prisoners basically working them as slaves.
Address what we must do to support our small businesses. Address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are exhausted with the same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent, and I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA of New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand that this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed
Kamala.
disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were
Kamala,
back in
the career
White House
prosecutor.
with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people.
Vice President
stop
Harris,
him.
thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president,
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy. It was a fake Russia investigation
We do a lot to
that
get-
went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values.
I'm trying to get elected.
One of at least every point that you've made, but in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States, and in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely.
Yeah, they're not asking her why she flip-flop. The language is different, you know.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
They're basically like, explain yourself, Vice President Harris. Just explain it to people why you had to change your opinion.
When I was a teenager, the values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting social security.
What a vile human being she is,
based
man.
on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that
Does she ever answer questions, man?
and not beating people down and name calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands the strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up.
These choices are horrible, man. Each election, our choices get worse and worse.
I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a broke Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens. I had a great father, and I learned a lot from him, but I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals that killed people, that burned down Minneapolis, she went out and raised money to get them out of jail. She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow fracking.
You know, Barack Obama would murder this dude in a debate, man. Barack Obama would absolutely destroy Trump in a debate. Biden, with all his marbles, would beat him easily. It's not like Trump is like doing extraordinarily well. Kamala's just awful to me, man.
Were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead, fossil fuel will be dead, we'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take 400, 500 acres of desert soil.
All right, Trump, man, now you rambling and shit, man. You rambling about shit you don't know about, bro. Shut the fuck up, man.
I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know.
Well, LB, I mean, any person with an IQ above 100 could beat Trump in a debate.
You told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out of the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that...
Yeah, Justin, I was saying,
peacefully and patriotically,
I said at the convention that the Democrats nominated the wrong woman.
And patriotically, and nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country?
A disgrace. She was trying to get into the goddamn White House. What the hell are you talking about?
Remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, "Oh, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet." That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America, they're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world, and crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just ask you,
David, when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle, they wanted to see Seattle, they took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
but let me just ask
You
you.
might ask her that question.
You were the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes, sir.
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said...
Yeah, Trump, you never had anything to do with anything bad.
Or soldiers.
Yeah, you never colluded with others to have democracy on surface. This is why he's full of shit. You know what I mean? He's full of shit right here.
Would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs.
Yeah, they pushed that bullshit for months. He's full of shit right here.
Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi, but I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the president of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation.
I remember back in 2016 when Trump ran for president for the first time, when all the polls had him winning. He loved polls. All the polls, I'm winning by 30, 40 points. I'm just blowout, landslide. The polls are beautiful, but when we start losing, the polls are rigged.
So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far...
Bitch, we turned the page already. What are you talking about? You talking like he president. I'm gonna turn the page. The fuck are you talking about?
To stand for our democracy.
We turned that page 4 years ago.
And to end the approach that is about attacking the...
It's time to turn the page. We turned the page already.
On that point, Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath. If this and the outcome of this election...
This is what pisses me off right here. This is what gets me.
Turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a...
You are in charge now. Why are you talking like he's the president? He's the incumbent. You're the outsider. You're in charge, you stupid bitch.
Energy, because they've destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, one Charlottesville. That story has been debunked. Laura Ingraham.
Sure, you can come in.
Jesse, all of these people, they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect. It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this, you talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate, because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border, because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed. Those people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you, because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won. Many times.
Hey, this link is for LB.
In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have
It don't matter. She just VP. She was in charge of the border. She's the vice president. Technically, she's the second ranking official in the executive branch.
Sarcastically, you know that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it. And they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls, and we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our election elections are bad, and a lot of these illegal immigrants.
What's up, man?
They're trying to
What's
get
up,
them
T-Raw?
They can't even speak English. They don't even know what
I
country
don't
they're in
know.
practically.
Just
And these people are
What do you mean the
suffering.
elections are bad, Trump? You out there pushing that bullshit about the election results.
These pieces of video, I didn't
Yeah.
the sarcasm lost.
He talking about the election was bad. Why? Because you lost?
Well, here is clarification. You know
That and apparently every time he loses is bad.
Yeah.
So they said we didn't have standing. That's the other thing.
He just admitted last week that he lost the election. Now all of a sudden it's rigged. The fuck?
Election doesn't have standing. The president.
Yeah, he goes back and forth with that, I guess, man. I don't know, man. You know.
If you look at the facts,
And then when he does admit that they lost, there's always an excuse.
Yeah. And then you got the porn star rejects out here pushing his lies again.
We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by whiskers, so he still believes he did not lose the election.
I noticed one thing. They do not want to talk about this immigration thing, man. They don't do follow-up questions on it. When he they don't want to talk about that.
Well, you know, like I said, Trump ain't what no like person that secured the border. Remember, they were still coming in through planes, trains, automobiles, and tunnels and all that. And he was calling them caravans.
Yeah, I mean, illegal immigration has been going on for decades.
Right. So
it's a bipartisan thing. It's a bipartisan thing.
Yeah, it's a bipartisan thing because, again, the donors benefit from these illegal immigrants coming in here.
Yeah.
But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts
What's up, Lemon Pepper Lou?
to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk,
he is the shit on the bottom of my Air Force Ones.
Debate and deny over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did in fact lose that election. It leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
Yeah, we do. We deserve better than both
we
of you.
don't want none. We don't want you either. She's supposed to be the president of joy.
Right.
Joy, pump it up, pain, pump it up, sunshine and rain.
He said because you need.
What's good, Darius?
Back as president. They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him. I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no
no, he's not.
president.
No, he didn't.
That's a good laugh.
You saw at a debate just a few months ago that if you weren't in that debate, he'd be running on Senate First. He got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out.
Who you got winning this, LB? I kind of got like maybe slightly Donald Trump by default because she's so awful. Who you got winning?
14 million votes. They threw him out. She got
Oh man, you know, I want to vote for a dead duck, but since I can't vote, since I can't pick the dead duck,
I don't understand it, but
I think just because of the vice president that she picked, I think camel toe, oh camel toe, I think she's gonna win.
You think
Because
she's
when you
gonna
have that
win?
vice president debate between Tim Walz and JD Vance, I guarantee you JD Vance is going to get the floor mopped with his ass.
Yeah, I think JD Vance gonna lose that debate. Yeah, I think it's what, about a month from now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Demon Reacts for the $4.99 super chat. He says, "I'm waiting for Kamala to stumble on her words with the whole Ukraine situation." Yeah.
Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert. Women were horribly raped. And so, absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children,
Man, listen to Kamala Harris talk. I'd rather would cut a hole through some drywall, stick my dick in it, bro. Straight up, bro.
It must end immediately, and the way it will
Ah,
end is we
God,
need a
man.
ceasefire deal, and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must.
Remember on Married with Children, man, when Al used to get stressed out, he would rub his temples.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now, man.
Security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure.
This is horrible, man. This is the worst debate I ever. This. I mean, the other one was bad because of how bad Biden was and Trump was lying, but she's very. This is the fake. This is like the fakest election I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Too Raw, you remember when we was talking? Well, I told you, right? Kamala would be the perfect guest host on Sesame Street. You know what I'm saying? She'll be the perfect guest host on Sesame Street. She'll like you have all the Asians and the Spanish people and the one black kid who got the booger in his nose and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Grover and Elmo and the Cookie Monster and whatever like that talking.
And killed millions of people when you hit it up. Far worse than people understand what's going on over there.
Sesame Street.
Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party. She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way.
Shout out to Trey Brown with the $1.99 super chat. He says, "Too Raw, who has been worse? What? You talking about like a nominee?
Arabs, Jewish people,
they both suck.
Israel will be gone.
Who's been worse?
Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had.
You're talking like presidential nominees?
Or Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different.
I think these are the two worst candidates I've ever seen.
Terror, and they are spears of terror, horrible terror.
This
both
is horrible.
suck.
This is horrible.
And you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation.
And they're still not talking about what they.
They're spreading that money around.
They're still not to be talking policy. It just is devolving back into the tax, personal tax.
Yep. Hey, can you hear me Too Raw?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, there's nothing policy related. Neither one of them have any kind of substance. It's just personal attacks back and forth about, hey, this guy can't do the job that I can do better. You're in power already. What the fuck you talking about? Anyway.
So who has been worse in the debate?
What's up, D-Dubs?
National security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires.
I mean, Joe Biden was horrible a couple months ago, but at least he got the excuse of dementia.
It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And
it's Kim Jong-un, you twit.
That these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors.
Hold on, Kamala ain't got no room to be talking. Remember, she went to the DMZ and was praising was it North Korea?
Yeah. She thought North Korea was our ally.
Yeah, she talking about North Korea is our ally. Down the DMZ, she talking, boy. I tell you, boy, the gaslighting is. And that 3-chin fat job mouth, baby bop, bimbo babble, rolling Martin go run his mouth.
That is true with T Soccer 17 saying or she's gesturing like she's in a courtroom. Like she's still gesturing like she's a prosecutor.
Right. I'm like, bitch, you are the vice president right now. You're doing the shoddy job right now. You want more power? Boy, I tell you. And then she said that they making Trump look like he got all the power. Trump is not in office, bitch. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, she's gesturing like she's still a prosecutor and Trump is an innocent black man she's trying to put away for put away in the prison. I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
Thank you, with a lot of issues to get to.
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution Center.
You moderators suck.
All right, now they're on commercial break. Let me turn this down a little bit.
Hi, my name is Jason Whitlock, and I represent the Pence. You know, there's a lot of times when I'm going my anti-black racist street because I'm a coon, and, you know, sometimes I might have accidental discharges. So go get your big old heaping helping bag at the Pence for your local grocery market. Yay!
Yeah, I cussed him out today on X, man. And then blocked him. He just I don't know, man. Jason Whitlock is just at this point, man, just a grifting, man. Just grifting. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a buck dancing, fecal matter filled fat piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn have pterodactyl sized shits. But you know, he know what he's doing, man. He just it's a grift for him, man.
Yeah, you gotta keep them bosses happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far debate, there's no policy. Sure as hell they ain't talking about reparations. Sure as hell they ain't talking about any qualified immunity. Sure as hell they ain't talking about anti-black hate crime law. It was just one big old fecal matter slinging contest to see who will sling shit the best.
Yeah, who, like, you know, two monkeys.
Yeah, you got two chimpanzees just slinging mud butt.
Arm Jr. 1996 said, "What a waste of space he is." Yeah, they bride Whitlock with wings. Yeah, that's his fee. It ain't money. It's food. It's wings and goddamn stuffed crust pizzas.
Stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah. He be working out his contract too. Now, you know, I mean, last time I know the contract, you know, I said that I wanted the stuffed crust meat lovers, but you know, this time, man, it's gonna have to be the super stuffed crust. You know, I think I've earned it. You know, it's stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, Donald Trump is and we got black people out here supporting Donald Trump. You got Gorilla Grodd himself and Byron Donalds, and then we got the big old gummy bear and Tim Scott, right?
Oh, baby goo.
I just want to let you know that we got to support Donald Trump all the way to the presidency. And then we got individuals like, what's his name, Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a reverend turned gay porn star at night at the presidential suite, right? And he like chorizo. He don't like dick. He like chorizo. right?
Yeah. And what's that big ball? What's that ball head motherfucker that was at the RNC and shit?
Oh shit! I can't remember his name. Were you the Reverend?
I can't remember. He was a bald motherfucker, cooning for Trump at the RNC. Can't remember his name.
No, Tim Scott got a bald head too. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I don't mean Bullwinkle. This is another dude.
Is it Wesley Hunt?
I think it was him. Yeah, him.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's him and Byron Donalds was doing that during crack cocaine and cigars thing out there. or crack cocaine and Coca-Cola, whatever they call it. Out there in goddamn Philadelphia and Atlanta, when you try to go down to Atlanta with that nonsense, they ran this ass up out of town. And do you know the preeminent Aunt Jemima of our generation, Sage Steele?
Man, why don't Lester Holt just shave his fucking head?
Who?
Lester Holt.
That pasty faced bastard shaved his head?
I said, why don't he just shave his head? God damn.
Oh. No, Zeddy Perry, that was not a parody. That was actual fact. You had 5 men in the room, none of them black, but they were all different entities and nationalities and whatever else. And they were talking about how Jesse Lee Peterson was hypnotizing them, and he was talking about how the power of God compels them while he was sticking chorizo in his mouth, giving him that Gawk Gawk 3000.
Yeah. That's. I don't know why that's not even more common knowledge that Jesse Peterson is a cock smoker. I don't get it. I don't know why people got all these. I don't know why people be praising this dude. He's a fuck. Well, I forgot. This ain't Patreon. I don't know. Yeah, he's very zesty.
He like him spicy.
Because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But take a look at what's
Weak
happening.
people.
We're in for 250.
Why is she not killing Trump, man? She's supposed to be this master prosecutor.
They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president. Okay, they respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin. Hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try to get it. That is a war that's dying to be.
How do you know that he hasn't spoken to Putin in 2 years?
But are you spying on him like how they spying on you?
Yeah, how would he know that?
Right, how would he know that? Unless he got a mole.
And why, as a even though you're a former president, why as a American citizen you speaking to a president of the United States? I mean, president of a country.
And remember, he didn't even trust his own intelligence. The intelligence agency told Trump that, hey, Russia is out there doing illegal stuff to the election. Oh, I don't believe my.
Yeah, you put. he don't believe his own country. He don't believe his.
So who's the real traitor? Now I ain't got no horse in the race, but Trump was a fucking traitor. And they didn't even ask him about the damn classified documents that he allegedly stole and sold. How do we know this dude ain't sold them goddamn documents already?
I think he did.
I think he did too. Dude's got all kinds of Russian hoes just running up in you, rummaging through documents and all that. And that fucking idiot Jesse. Look, if there's one person I want to drop kick outside of Barney, and I mean Barney the dinosaur, is Jesse Waters. Oh yeah, that other Lloyd Banks looking motherfucker and Daryl Scott supported his ass too. Thick ass Brian Pumper, Lloyd Banks motherfucker. Anyway. That's the strongest statement she made yet.
Would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened here. I actually met with Zelensky.
You know, she is a very nasty person, man.
In more ways than one, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, we know her when she on her knees how dirty that get, but
you can't. Hey, you gotta watch that too, bro.
I mean, when she's praying, when she's on her knees praying to Jesus, you know, when you better thank a union member.
You better thank a union member. She sounded like Fire Marshal Bill when she said that shit too. Let me say something.
But I could just see the nastiness in her, man. It's
Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's agenda is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up?
I don't. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna go to that. I ain't gonna go to that.
With what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Vice President Harris, thank you. We've heard from both of you on Ukraine tonight. Afghanistan came up in the last hour. I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier.
I wrote the song in '94. How I'm doing this?
He'd be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow, quiet, please.
Ooh, told her quiet.
In Moscow, right now. But eventually,
Silence. Oh, this is. They hate each other.
Maybe he'll use them, and maybe he hasn't been that threatening, but he does have that. Something we don't even like to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about it. But just so you understand,
sloppy.
they sent her
Told her quiet.
peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war.
I'm not even really listening to this no more, man. I'm just. This is gonna be parody on Saturday Night Live. I know that's coming. Or well, then again, can they do any better?
I'm pretty sure they could do better. You know.
Well, I mean, as far as comedy, like
Yeah.
it's already a parody.
Yeah, this is all. I mean, this is already a fucking train wreck. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's a Cane Corso and a German Shepherd more concerned about some immigrant will come in and eat them or whatever like that, right?
President Trump, thank you.
Let them tell it.
You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight?
Yet again, I said at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fella.
Like you ain't telling lies. Like you the truth teller. Get your ass out of here.
The reality is, it has been.
She lies by omission.
Look, you notice how the moderator said he brought up that what Trump said. Like, I mean, I don't like the fact that the moderators are openly trying to help her, even though she's not succeeding. You know what I'm saying, and taking advantage of that. But it's just sad, man.
We need to have a debate on a more on a platform like that's more balanced, because clearly ABC is not neutral. Fox News ain't neutral neither, right?
No, they're not. Which is why Trump want to have a debate with Fox News moderators. I just want fairness, man.
But you're not gonna get it.
And why is there no audience there? Matter of fact, to be honest with you, we need to have a town hall debate.
Well, they didn't want no audience there because they don't want the audience, like, you know, being pro Trump or being pro Kamala or whatever like that, right? Because we seen how that shit can go completely off the rails of with rabid Trump supporters, whatever like that, right? Now we already seen situations where you had people try to come out the crowd into the attacking reporters and stuff like that, right? That's all rabid Trump supporters, right? So you can't have that. If David Muir asked a question one of the Trump supporters didn't like, one of the Trump supporters might come out the crowd and try to jump on him like he a trampoline.
I mean that's true, but it's just still, man, it feels artificial. It just
right. It is artificial.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the crowd.
I mean, yeah, Trump supporters be on some on a whole nother level, be on some you know what I'm saying, some cult shit, but it doesn't feel right without an audience in the background. You know what I'm saying?
And then this whole thing with the immigration and whatever like that. Look, make no mistake. For those of you who may not be aware what the fuck going on with this whole illegal immigration stuff, they're trying to drown out the black vote. They're trying to make the black vote useless and pretty much obsolete. That's why they're dragging all these illegal immigrants in here. They're giving them visas, driver's licenses, jobs, housing, resources, and other subsidiaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
In an effort to drown out the black vote.
Yeah. Did you hear about how in New York, the illegal immigrants that are in shelters, their families, they're gonna get a $4,000, basically a $4,000 check.
Yeah, so they're getting that, and then in Chicago they get like $9,000 a month.
And American homeless gets absolutely nothing.
You got people who live here in the country that pays taxes and all that. They're always getting stunned by some income requirement or some credit-based requirement. Meanwhile, some immigrant can come and stick his hand out. His name could be Ahmed. He can stick his hand out. He get everything. This whole debate ain't nothing more than a goddamn car wreck.
Yeah, 78. Trump let off the hook.
But look, like you said too, Raw, this whole immigration thing is a bipartisan issue because it's not like the Republicans can sit up there and say, oh, well, we tried to do something about it. No, you ain't tried to do nothing about it. Trump had had Mike Johnson kill the bill so that way Trump can have something to campaign on. The motherfucker admitted it when he was down in Greenville, South Carolina, with that Desperate Housewives reject, Laura Ingraham, and Tim Scott, old big gummy dummy ass, was sitting out there smiling and cheesing like he was going to be the VP pick.
Abdul is the head of the Taliban.
Being the proverbial baldy locks.
And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo. It was a better agreement. The reason it was good.
More babbling by Trump.
We were getting out. We would have been out faster.
It's just.
We wouldn't have left many.
My thing is this. When they went down to Greenville, South Carolina, he admitted that to Laura Ingraham. Laura Ingraham asked him specifically, why did they kill the bill? He said, well, I had to kill the bill because this will look good for the other side. That's what he said.
Yeah, he's playing politics with that issue.
So Trump ain't trying to do nothing ill. Man, this is the same dude that said Mexico was going to pay for the wall that got built, that never got built.
It never got built, yeah.
Most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
President Trump, thank you. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country. Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she had hair black, and now she wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care.
I can't answer that question for you, David, because that's the way him and his racist groups can spew out their anti-black racism. That's why.
It's okay with me.
But those were your words. So
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out.
Because we all know how racist his supporters are.
That she was black.
That's an understatement.
I mean, you got to be a goddamn hamster way under the ground did not know that these motherfuckers is racist.
I mean, honestly, I think it's just a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of
you know, to be honest with you, I thought Trump, like by default, was sort of winning this debate, but now he's faltering terribly. I can't say she's winning. I would just say it's I guess it's a tie in awfulness. I guess I would have it. I don't think this really moves the needle at all, this debate. What do you think?
She's debating to not lose as opposed to debating to win.
You say you think she's debating not to lose?
Yeah, the whole campaign is basically predicated on, okay, let's not make a mistake, right? That's why she's been so ducking the media up until now.
Yeah.
That's why she's been, going on rallies and saying things that are so vague that you have to use your imagination to fill in the blanks. She's been, up to this point, campaigning to not lose as opposed to campaigning to win.
Yeah, she's being very careful. Very, very careful, doing just basically going by the script. Just going by the script, not going off script, because she's not very, good at that, not very good at ad-libbing. And, she's extremely scripted. Trump needs a script.
President Trump, this is now your third time.
And when you think about all the presidents that have gone on to win elections and things of that nature, right? They're able to articulate off the cuff. They didn't need no script. They didn't need nobody being, having a set of AA batteries prop up in their back and somebody in the background holding the remote control telling them what to say and shit. They're able to do this thing off the cuff. And that's how the presidential debates are won and lost.
And if they pled guilty, then they pled, well, not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again.
How many times you say this shit, Trump? Damn, bro.
But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good
the greatest economy in the history of the world, which isn't true.
Well, this is the thing. He believes in the power of repetition. And he thinks just because he repeats it 10,000 fucking times that, it's going to resonate with the people. But you know what? And you know what? Trump is right. He did have the greatest economy in the history of the world. The truth of the matter is, it wasn't.
Hell no.
Bastard.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
How?
In what is possible. One who brings a sense of optimism.
Ain't you 60?
Yeah.
How are you a new generation?
How you try to bring a sense of optimism? Are you gonna have the cookout at the White House? Are you gonna have Roland Martineau, big fat job, onesie wearing ass out there doing dancing, and Jennifer Lewis doing concerts? How you gonna bring us joy in the morning?
To pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young.
What's $6,000?
Child's life to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan.
What's $6,000 when the hospital bill costs damn near $30,000?
It has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
What is $25,000 to a first-time home buyer when that money's going to go right back to the banks? And you know what else they're talking about? They're not talking about how companies like BlackRock and Airbnb and these other private equity firms is buying up all the properties, right? And they're charging people rent. Now, Guess who deregulated that shit? If you say Bill Clinton, you are a savant. You are a visionary. Because that's who's responsible for why we got this practice going on with the housing market.
Yep.
I'm sorry, we're gonna respond, Vice President Harris. President Trump, this is now your third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after...
He ain't working on shit.
You have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care. Always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things.
Not working on nothing.
We're going to replace it.
He ain't working on nothing. What the hell he working on?
I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But
okay, so how come you ain't had one yet, then, Trump? You had 8 years. You had 8 years to come up with a plan for Obamacare. How the fuck you ain't got one now? He just ranting and raving about, oh, Obamacare, it's a disgrace. Oh my God, it's such a travesty. It's such a disgrace. We need something bigger and better. Okay, how come you ain't do nothing one yet? Huh?
I'm trying to remember. Obamacare, they voted for that, what, 2011?
Man, they've been voting on Obamacare. Matter of fact, John McCain approached Trump and told Trump about the goddamn Obamacare. That's how come Trump and John McCain had beef.
Never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it.
2008, okay.
I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
You ain't got no plan, man. God damn, bro. You don't got no plan. I got concepts of a plan to do what?
Process.
You can eat grilled chicken today and eat fried chicken tomorrow? The fuck out of here.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all,
whatever she pulls out her ass.
Vice President, private healthcare options, but what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking, and then this business about taking everyone's guns.
Man, don't worry about that. Don't worry about no goddamn fracking.
Anybody's guns away.
I notice whenever she says I need to make a point or respond to something, they never tell her, oh, Madam Vice President at the time. They never do that with her.
Yeah, both these guys is rambling. Look. Hey, I predicted this, right? What did we learn about this debate class? Me. Go ahead, LB. Absolutely nothing. That's right. You're just smart on there, boy.
As being, you don't like him, you said at the time, because he got caught. He was an American hero. The late, great John McCain, I will never forget that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Did I call that?
No plan. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell people watching tonight, you remember what that was like? Remember when an insurance company could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a grandparent had diabetes? And thankfully, as I've been vice president and we over the last 4 years have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices on behalf of you, the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did. We did.
Get it out. Get it out.
Since I've been vice president, we have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that the value I bring to this is that access access to health care.
Donald Trump blew it tonight, man.
And not just a privilege of those who can afford it.
He blew it.
And the plan has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act.
He blew it.
Get rid of it.
You know what? I'm starting to think Kamala's gonna win this election now, man.
She can win. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, we need to because a lot of people might get confused, right? I can't speak for Too Raw, but what I can say for me is I have no horse in this race. Neither candidate is good. It's Couch 2024, and I need a willing and a participant female to help me participate in Couch 2024.
Made money and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need to be.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of
I'm leaning toward voting third party.
And that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the
Or not voting at all at this point, man.
Man, I ain't voting at all. I'm telling you right now, it is Couch 2024.
Couch 224.
Man, Too Raw, look. I'm so disgusted with this. It's Couch 2024. I'm starting a new campaign, right? Because I'm a Giants fan and Daniel Jones sucked, so I'm starting a new campaign, Bench 2024.
Experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud.
Well, apparently your constituent Gavin Newsom don't care about that issue because he's criminalizing people for being homeless.
The economy, while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been vice president. We have,
and you know what? People still can't find work.
That we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said
to
he
do
was
what?
Manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have.
And them jobs don't even pay enough.
Workers and Sean Fain, who also
building a clean energy. What does she mean? We're creating jobs around the world.
Yeah, what do you mean by all these jobs? Jobs you can't get because you don't meet certain requirements, or if you do meet requirements, they don't pay enough. Meanwhile, the CEOs taking home $20 million while they're performing all these layoffs.
Manufacturing jobs this last month. They're all leaving. They're building.
And then another thing they're not saying about these jobs, when you try to go to apply to them, they're fake.
They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell.
I come to learn that a lot of these jobs that's being talked up online are ghost jobs. They're fake.
Unbelievable. But we're not going to let that.
We'll
put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place.
And besides, what are these jobs they talk about? Because every time I call into the help desk, there's always some Indians who's out there making rats on the stick on the other line.
Did you say eating rats on the stick?
Yeah.
Money from Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these.
Did you forget Microsoft? This is Ahmed. Have I helped you?
This one, that one, Ukraine, China. Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Both of our candidates in historic night, this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia.
Hey, this is the classic case of the con man criminal versus the chameleon.
The ABC News presidential debate will continue after this.
I just Trump is very, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Trump is very trying to listen to, man.
Man, look, why do you think he get kicked out everywhere he go?
This is shit, man.
Complete. I mean, man, look. Well, so what kind of shit is this? The solid shit or the baby runny diarrhea shit?
What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all Trump support? Get the fuck out of my chat, you dumb son of a bitch. God, these guys get on my damn nerves.
I missed that.
I blocked his ass. Ooh, y'all Trump supporters, y'all disappoint. Shut the fuck up, you dumb son of a, you stupid goddamn. Ugh. It just
Man,
irritates the
look.
shit out of me, man. Like, if you don't suck Kamala's fucking cunt, you're a Trump supporter. You're an idiot.
Man, look. You know the Democrat shield's gonna be all over this, right?
Yeah, they think she's winning. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't think anybody won. They're both horrible.
Yeah, they both suck.
It ain't like this moved the needle, but if anything, I would say Trump probably needed to like look like he was the default winner at the very least. He's blowing it.
Man, it's like, once again, class, what have we learned? Absolutely nothing. And then and camel toe, camel toe, ain't even brought up his cognitive decline and shit.
No.
Trump is out here just rambling. Just last week, it was reported that an illegal.
Ranting, screaming, ranting, raving. You know, the first debate he was able to kind of bully Biden. You know, Biden looked like he ready to put his head on that damn podium and take a nap. That's not working. It's not working really good right now. You know, it's not working with her. You know, I mean, she's not really.
I mean, she's talking like she in the courtroom.
Right. She's not really scoring a lot of points, but he can't just do the little Trump shit and win by default because Biden's got his foot halfway in the nursing home. It's not working.
No, it's not working at all. But like I say, Kamala's out there sounding so. Oh, she's so annoying, man. Can you imagine being married to somebody like that?
Nope.
You trying to watch TV, she just comes stands right for her TV as you trying to watch a football game and shit. LB, we have to talk. I'm like, right now? Yes, right now. Do you know that when we were sleeping last night and you were snoring and it really irritated me, I'm like, bitch, get off the TV. So I'm a bitch now? Yes. Go play somewhere, goddammit. Shit. Anyway.
Kamala's only useful when she's not talking.
She's only useful to 5 and 6.
You still there, bro? They cut your mic?
No, she's only good for 5 and 6 year olds at a kindergarten class, man. Shit.
One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that
Why does she keep saying that? Look, what do you mean we ain't going back? Some of us ain't even going forward. What the fuck you talking about? Anyway.
Having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people.
Where John Lewis at? I want to dig his ass. I want a Ouija board dig his ass from the grave and shit. Where John Lewis at?
I'm guessing decomposing somewhere. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
We're not going back. We're going forward. Let old John Lewis tell it.
Yeah, Jacob Isaac. That's funny. Trey Brown.
Exactly.
Trey Brown. Trey Brown, the 199. He said, "Who is worse, Democratic shields or Black Republicans?"
I mean, shit. I mean, that's a good question right there. 'Cause when you factor in the Democrat shields like the Roland Martins, you know what I'm saying, the three chin butterball basting bastard extraordinaire, and Mark Lamont Shield and Reese Colbert and all these other stick pussy hoes talking shit, and then you got the black conservatives, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was sitting there talking about the fatherless in the whole, right? Like the Larry Elders and the John Armand Chukwus and the other pork chop preachers and pulpit pips. But if I had to give one, I would say the black conservatives is worse.
Yeah.
But both of them are bad.
Right. Yeah. Because at least the Democratic shields, they're getting some crumbs from it, and they're getting some quasi positions of power, if you want to call it that. The Black Republicans, I really don't understand why they're so gung ho. Because I mean, look at Candace Owens right now. What did all that get her?
Yep.
She's
All
out on
that
the island by herself now.
she's on all by herself. But
Yeah,
hey,
she's on the island
you
by
know,
herself.
she got her white husband and two kids and shit like that. She's not alone.
Well, I mean by like her base. Like when
Oh,
she started,
they left her.
yeah, when she started going at that crowd, they left her. And it's funny, she could go all day talking about us. Oh yeah, she's chugging like it is. The minute she started going in on them and those people,
Hey, I went in on the Democratic shield, and you know what that got me? That got me a strike on my YouTube channel.
well, yeah, that's true too.
Because the first time I went in on Simone Sanders, right? I
Mm-hmm.
got a strike. This time when I went in on, that fat John Mott Roland Martin, I got a warning. Hey, sir, your type of conduct is not allowed on YouTube.
But let me ask you this though: do you think it has something to do with also talking about the obvious about him now?
Oh, about him going down the tunnel of love?
Mm-hmm. That
He
might
was
have
out there.
offended a certain community.
Man, yeah, it might have offended the Skittles crowd, but you know what?
Skittles.
Play Roland Martin's favorite song, Bussy, Bussy Boy. It don't mean the thing. Duh, 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 duh. Oh, you Bussy Boy.
The worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential.
This was a horrible debate.
This was a fucking car wreck.
Yeah, this was horrible, man. This our country's screwed either way, man.
Yep, there are no winners, right? We need to get rid of this two-party system because, look, when it comes to the Republicans and Democrats, both of them come together and say no when it comes to black folks.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no reason for us to vote for in this election. I mean,
but let Roland Martin tell her, hey, vote like your life depends on it, vote like your mama. And what's this thing about? Hey, too raw. What's this thing about a motherfucker need to vote harder? What does vote harder mean? Do I press the fucking screen as hard as I possibly can to click somebody's name? What the fuck does that mean? You gotta vote harder.
Break your goddamn finger off. Break that.
Hey, your finger about to turn red pressing somebody's name on that goddamn screen.
Goddamn. They want you to penetrate that screen.
Right. I vote as hard as I possibly can, woman.
Honestly, I think whoever you support, if you support either one of them, you can find reasons to why you think your candidate won. I guess. But to me, I don't know. I thought Trump kind of started well, but then he faltered. I thought it was way too much focusing on Biden and
I'm surprised he said.
rambling.
I'm surprised he said he ran against Obama. But make no mistake, right? They both stink. Okay.
Unanswered questions as well. It's worth noting out on both sides. Harris never answered whether you're better off than you were 4 years ago.
Is that Kristen Welker?
Oh yes.
Oh man, look, man, Kristen Welker. If you ever hear the video, look, if you and I ever cross paths, it's Raw first night. God damn it.
I asked JD Vance if Trump would do that. He said
Yeah, that's straight raw dog pump and dump.
No, I ain't dumping her. No, I'm trying to wipe that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, no,
Fuck
no,
the
no.
bullshit.
When I say pump and dump, I mean dump in.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Kristen
I can
Welker.
see that.
Oh.
I can see that, Sean. I mean, I can see the argument that he might have won barely, I guess, but it's not a knockout blow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically just the same. It's static. Is I guess it's still a close race, but to me, I don't know, man. I'm starting to get the impression she might actually have a lead. I really wasn't buying it, but now I'm starting to think maybe she does have an advantage. I don't know. I don't see why. But then again, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of this election, honestly, man. It's so bad, man.
Hey man, that's why I say I'm out this shit, man. I'm totally detached myself from the political process. I provide commentary, but as far as like, trying to get involved with it, man, fuck that. Neither candidate is good. They both shit, and neither one of them answered questions. They both deflected. They both gaslit. They both lied. Either they blatantly lied or they lied by omission, but they both told lies. Neither one of them provided a plan of what they would do for black people. Neither one of them provided a plan what they would do for the economy. Neither one of them provided a plan what they'll do to combat the private sector who buying up all the properties in the country, whatever like that, and charge you rent.
I also didn't hear anything about the issue of inflation in this country. I don't remember them saying anything. Maybe I missed that.
Nope.
I didn't
No
hear them say
plan.
anything about inflation. Yeah.
Yep. So again, neither one of them set themselves apart. And Kamala, to her discredit, she's campaigning to not lose as opposed to campaigning to win. She's more afraid of making a mistake than to go out there and just let her nuts hang.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to think the last good debate I watched. I kind of liked some of the debates when it was McCain and Obama. I thought those were decent. You heard some policy discussions.
Oh, you see, you speaking of which, you notice Kamala finally put up her policy or
Oh yeah,
her stance on
conveniently
stuff the day before the debate.
Yeah, the day before the debate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the day before the debate.
Now, mind you, if she should have had that motherfucker up the moment she declared that she was going to run.
Hey Sean, that's if they debate again.
They're not going to debate again. For what?
Yeah, he said like if what was it again? What was the comment? Oh, they need to touch on policy in the next debate. I don't think they're going to debate again.
It's too close to the next election. It's because they're debating this month, and the vice presidents to be are going to debate next month. So where's the time in it for to have another debate?
Well, back in the day, they used to have at least 3 to 4 debates, but it was already agreed upon. It was like agreed upon a couple of months in advance. Because these things take negotiations. These things.
Yeah, Air France, you're right. Go ahead, Rob. My bad.
Oh no, these things take intricate negotiations. It ain't like they just get an email and just say, okay, yeah, You know, we do that, but yeah, these things take like intricate details, and they hash out and make compromises, and it's usually a period of like hell, sometimes months, if not uh, a couple of months. So yeah, it's already September. I don't think they're gonna have another debate. Maybe I'm wrong. If they do, it might be toward the end of October. Maybe, but I doubt it.
Right. Yeah, it's not like I can call Two Raw on the phone and be like, "Hey, Two Raw, you want to go live together?" Yeah, we can set right up right now.
Yeah, yeah. Kamala won that stop capping. Uh, you call that a win? Okay.
Hey man, look, any day above ground is a win. Okay.
I guess they feel like. I mean, I don't know, man. I just thought it was awful. I didn't really
Yeah.
see. I didn't see a winner in that debate.
Yeah, there were no winners in that debate. None. Neither one, like I say, neither one have provided a plan on how they're gonna do it. It was just a whole bunch of it was just mud butt slinging, if you ask me.
Yeah.
She addressed that by saying clearly, I'm not Joe Biden, but I think that's an interesting point. Is where the former president's head is at this point.
All right, let's bring in Florida Senator Marco Rubio. He's a surrogate for the Trump campaign.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord. Marco Rubio. Any banana you can eat right now, Marco Rubio?
Well, two things. These candidates have very different objectives. Donald Trump's well known. He was the president of the United States. He's been campaigning basically for the last 8 years, 4 years, actually going back to 2016. Most voters didn't know who Kamala Harris was. Tonight, for the first
Hey, LB.
What's up?
Have you seen how close that Florida Senate race is with Rick Scott?
No. Oh yeah, I seen that over Rick Scott. Yeah, it's like a percentage point difference.
Yeah, because remember he only won in 2018 by what, 0.2%?
Yeah, but he didn't win by a whole lot. If you ask me, Rick Scott should be in prison right now for that. But that's a whole nother subject, man. But
or how they rigged that?
Yeah. I'm talking about for the pharmaceutical company scam he was involved in.
Okay.
But anyway, that's a whole nother subject for another day. But yeah, he won that by the hair on his chin, on his pubic hair, whatever whatever makes his bacon sizzle. But yeah, we barely won that shit.
Well, the thing that I'm starting to become more interested in is forget the presidential race. I'm starting to worry. I'm not worried, but I'm starting to be more interested in the down ballot races because one advantage that the Democrats do have is that humongous war chest. They raised I think they said that Kamala Harris raised $364 million in August.
Yeah, because she was the shiny new toy that people wanted to get behind.
Right.
Figuratively speaking, not literally.
Yeah, I gotta calm down on the 304 stuff, man. I ain't trying to get flagged, but but yeah. So I read that I think 25 million is going to go toward that they raised this month is going to go toward Democratic candidates. So that's why I brought up that race. I brought up the race. Well, I'm going to bring up the race between Ted Cruz and what is his name? Colin Allred, I think his name.
Yeah, Colin Allred. Colin Allred used to be in the NFL.
I knew that name did sound familiar.
I think Colin Allred was like an offensive lineman for the Tennessee Titans or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Colin Allred, yeah, he's going against Ted Cruz. Now, Hey, Two-Raw, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Hey, you know one thing Kamala Harris ain't talked about when Trump was running his mouth about the election being stolen, all that bullshit, right? Now, mind you, all the people who ran in 2020, right? Because you bring up down ballot. When you vote, you don't just vote for president, you vote for senator, House of Representatives, and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Ted Cruz ran in 2020. Lindsey Graham ran in 2020. Mitch McConnell ran in 2020, amongst others. They won the election, but he lost. But yet it's rigged. Make it make sense. So if the election was rigged, then how come the people that won didn't say it was rigged?
Well, you know, it's only rigged when they lose.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's only
you
rigged when they
Ted
lose.
Cruz running his mouth about, oh man, this election is rigged, but he won. You ain't hear Mitch McConnell, old snap turtle looking ass saying, hey man, this election was rigged, but you won. Oh well, it's a free process. President Obama was your reparations, by the way. And then you got Trump running around talking about this is the disgrace. It's just like they stolen. Look, motherfucker, the fact of the matter was, how come none of the other senators were pushing that bullshit about the election being stolen? They won. So make it make sense. And then the Democrats ain't no better because they rigged it against Bernie Sanders on 2 different occasions. They rigged it this time around to let Kamala get it on the silver platter. She ain't had to beat nobody. She ain't had to earn it. But yet she's supposed to be this president that's going to be the glue that brings everybody together. The fuck out of here.
Hell, they rigged it. I mean, before that, they rigged it for Biden. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they put states up front. You know, like traditionally, it usually always been the Iowa caucus, then New Hampshire, then Nevada, and then South Carolina. But they put all of the southern states first. Why? Because there's a high black population in those states, and they know what time it is with that. So they want to get it over with. And then not every state, I think like only half the states had primaries. So they just basically just met party leaders that met with the delegates and just said, okay, we're just going to vote for Biden. They just get over and give it to Biden. What the hell is that?
Yep. So make no mistake, both sides of the aisle do it. They just do it differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Kamala Harris, when she first ran her website, there was no mission statement on her website. There was a whole lot of links to donate, though. Oh yeah. By the way, man, while I'm in here, man, can I make this? Can I put a public service announcement?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can y'all sub to my YouTube channel, the Sports and Political Channel LB? Sub to my YouTube channel. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Any and all support would be great.
My bad. I was getting a call. Go, plug your junk again.
Yeah, just sub to my YouTube channel, the Sports and Political Channel LB. And I need to find out if Van Jones is going to start crying again. He's going to be on that low. Kamala Harris, a star was born tonight. I just really see her coming to the age of being very presidential.
Oh, he already got his.
It was so inspiring. It was so riveting. I wanted to get up out of my rocking chair and start clapping. She was so good to me.
Yeah. He already got his sack of onions under the table. He already putting the eye drops in. He put a thumb in the corner of his eye already. What we saw tonight was a president in the making. I love my country again.
Why he was crying? He was like, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty.
Oh, your seagull.
Oh, the I say.
Oh my God. You crazy, man. Oh. Yeah, though, man. It's this was a waste of all of our time, man.
Right. I could have been watching a porno right now. You know what I'm saying? I need the shit.
Yeah.
Shit, this one girl I was talking to, she was telling me about the scissor motion. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm curious now.
Ooh. Scissor motion.
Yeah, scissor motion. I'm like, what the fuck is the scissor motion?
Sounds kinky.
Oh, see, when you eat my pussy, right? If you take your tongue and just go, oh, hey, I just got an alert from a betting website saying that Kamala Harris retook the lead over Donald Trump.
I thought she was already a surgeon.
Well, you know, the bloom went off the rose. You know what I'm saying? When she was ducking the media.
Well, I mean,
hey, Mr. Woke Up Jacob. Hey, that's Lacey Davis. She don't like him black. Just know, yeah, she fine, but she don't like him black. Hold on, I take that back. She do got a black husband. My bad. She do got a black husband. It was the other chick who was on the Bachelorette. That's who don't like a black. They look the same.
Yeah, she cute. She cute.
Yeah, she ain't Kristen Welker cute, but she cute. But yeah, Air France, you right. The usual suspect, Van Jones, Ricky Smiley. And I didn't see the tip interview that she had by Kamala Harris. I need to watch that. DL Hughley already got his payoff when he got to tell corny ass jokes at the DNC. Roly Poly still looking for that $100 million from Jeff Bezos that he gave to Van Jones. You know, Roly Poly was doing stakeouts outside of Van Jones' house when he found out Van Jones got that $100 million from Jeff Bezos.
Steve Harvey just got his check.
Yep. And that's to brush that foxtail he called a mustache. He need to keep his mustache black. Let's be honest. That's the only reason why, you know, he need them checks outside of Family Feud. He need to keep that goddamn mustache black.
Yeah. Y'all see old Cam, give it the old trophy. Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know, man. So, what do you expect over the next couple of weeks? I know we got the VP debate sometime in, I think it's October the 12th. I saw October somewhere around that time frame, about a month from now.
Well, Columbus Day weekend.
Okay, somewhere around that time period. Okay.
Yeah,
I know somewhere around that. Okay. So,
man,
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, so what do you see now as far as with this race? Like, I know we pretty much said that we agree that the needle hasn't really been moved, but like, just as an observer, what do you think Kamala needs to do from this point on to the election? Like, pretty much just play it safe. Do you think that's enough, or do you think it's going to come back to bite her in the ass?
If she plays it safe, it's going to come back and bite her ass. If she plays it safe,
okay.
She really needs to go. Like I said early in the stream, she needs to go out there and let her nuts hang. If she really, look, forget all the hot sauce in my bag swag and washing collard greens in a bathtub. Forget all that stupid ass bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is not a winnable strategy. Her bankhead bouncing the Cardi B or whatever like that, that is not a winnable strategy. She needs to provide more teeth into what she means by, okay, yes, you want to build 3 million homes and you want to put people in housing. How are you going to do that? Are you going to cut prescription drug prices? How are you planning on doing that? You say you want to take on the big donors that are price gouging. How are you going to do that? How are you going to hold them accountable? Because if your history shows anything, you're not going to really hold anybody accountable. It's just weasel words, and we supposed to be sitting up here using our imagination to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
So how are you going to take on people who's price gouging? Are you going to impose prison sentences on them? Are you going to impose heavy fines upon them? How are you going to hold these people accountable? Don't just say it to get my heart all pit a pat. Then when I go vote for your trifling ass, then you come back and be like, oh well, there was just some problems in the background, but we're going to get you next election.
Yeah, but it's funny, I tend to think that she's not going to really talk policy. It's just going to be more the same. Uh, and
hey, one more thing too, Raw.
mm-hmm.
Stop fear mongering about what could happen if Trump takes office. You're in office right now. This whole thing about Trump being a boogeyman, yeah, that worked in 2020. It will not work in 2024. Do not listen to fat job mouth individuals like Roland Martin who takes 3 in the mouth at one time.
Yeah. And now all and some of that is food.
Yeah. I will not listen to anybody whose fingers look like Vienna sausages, all right? The fact of the matter is, you can't just be up here just fear mongering about what Trump was going to do if he takes office. You can't fear monger about Project 2025. Stop with the fear mongering. Stop with the gaslighting. Give people something to believe in. Give people something tangible. We're looking for tangibles, not intangible. We're looking for tangibles. You give them tangibles, they will come vote for you. If you give them nothing, you will get nothing. And that's where I'm at. At that point, this is LB, and I approve this message.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we do know about Trump is that he does, and the Republican, the surrogates, to do a good job of rounding out the troops for them to come out on election day. We know they do a good job of that,
right?
The Democrats usually they have to. I mean, whenever they win elections, it's usually when they have a candidate that inspires them. You know what I'm saying? They need a candidate that gives them some sort of, some sort of, like you said, some type of hope, some sort of inspirational candidate. And at the same time, with Republicans, in my opinion, they do better when they have a candidate who, I don't want to say fearmonger, but tends to, how do I want to put this? They do better when they have a candidate that inspires them, but also tends to lay out the clear differences between the two parties. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Trump does a good job of demonizing the Democrats, but I don't know, but his base is so like sort of stuck, you know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't really have coattails. So
no,
he has to do, say he has to perform well as far as getting out the voters, getting out the truth. I'm not totally convinced that's going to be enough this time, man. Like it worked in 2016. It almost worked in 2020.
It's
But
not going to work in 2024. You're
yeah,
right.
I tend to think that insurrection. That I think that don't get me wrong, he still has a lot of supporters, but I tend to think he lost a lot of supporters, that was still willing to vote for him. But I think that was a little bit too much for some of his supporters. You know what I'm saying? Not all
Right.
Trump supporters are the way that we think of them. Not all of them. But I think, like I said, Kamala she's Kamala. So
Yeah, she's
all of
Camilton.
her deficiencies still might lead to Trump eking something out. But I don't know. I'm starting to think Trump's gonna lose, man. I could be wrong.
And then going back to your point of, hey, somebody in the comment section said we need a comedy special between with you and me. They want a
Oh yeah,
comedy special.
yeah.
Me and Two Raw will take that up for consideration. But when Obama ran in 2008, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was grassroots support from Obama. Then you had the Obama cell phone, the Obama T-shirt, the Obama shoes, all the way
Mm-hmm.
down to the Obama chia pet, right?
Yep.
You don't see no Kamala Harris chia pets running around here, right? There's no grassroots support for Kamala Harris, right? Now you go on her website, you might see a Kamala Harris mug or Kamala Harris big game hunting hat, right? Or a Kamala Harris picture when she and Doug first met on a blind date or some stupid ass shit. But there's no grassroots support for her.
No.
And she was a failure the first time when she ran. She couldn't even carry 10% of the vote out in California. That's her home state.
Yeah,
If
man.
you can't carry if you can't win your home state as a candidate, you are not a strong candidate to become president of the United States. Hell, I can make an argument she couldn't even be president of Nathan's hot dog eating contest, for crying out loud.
Yeah. you know, this is very difficult election for me to gauge because she's not the incumbent and she's a stand-in.
She's the
Essentially,
de facto candidate.
right? It's hard for me to gauge this election, man. It really is, and I really still believe these polls are off. Something's off. It's hard. I can see it's like this. I can see Kamala getting 320 electoral votes, right? I can see it winning by that margin, but I can still also see Trump winning 290, 248 in electoral college. It's just I don't. It's hard for me to gauge this election, man. All I can think of, the only way I see it is it's gonna come out. It's gonna come down to turnout.
You know the best form of a presidential the best debate I've seen was this one porno called "Who's Nailing Palin." That was the best. That was the best debate I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? Where you had Lisa Ann getting banged out on top of a U.S. flag and all that, right?
There was a scene. Oh, let
She
me shut
came to
up.
save democracy.
Let me shut up. Well, hell, we could talk. There was a scene in there, man. That was a really good scene with her and Nita Hartley and what was her name? Jada Fire. That's one of the best three-way led scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Jada
Allegedly.
Fire. Yeah,
I've been told. I've been told that at least.
yeah, sure, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yep. Not that I've seen it. I mean, I'm just, You know, I'm just going what I heard through the grapevine, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen it. This just what I've been reading. That according to the experts, that was a great
Yeah,
scene.
according to the world renowned pussyologists and shit, right?
Yeah, I'm not advocating to people to look at lesbian porn. I'm not
Yeah.
saying.
We're not advocating for you to be watching training videos at this late hour, right?
Yeah.
It's not W Balls and DJ Easy Dick, right? Oh yeah,
Lisa
Lisa
Anderson.
Senator of Alaska.
Crotchologist. Unique dog crotchologist.
Crotchologist. Crotchologist.
I'll tell you one thing. I do believe that Kamala is going to get about 99% of the thought vote.
So who's the 1% Amber Rose?
Yeah. Yeah, Amber Rose.
And Michaela Montgomery.
Yeah, and who am I forgetting? Oh, we're forgetting one.
Brian Pumper?
No, well, no.
Oh, you're talking about the female.
The esteemed congresswoman from Colorado.
Oh, who can I forget about Bobo the Clown? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you know she loved grabbing dick at a Beetlejuice play. She loved, I had a thing that she likes video games the much she be grabbing joysticks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's your favorite game? Oh, I like playing Duck Hunt on Nintendo with my joystick.
Yeah, she like guns to shoot.
And her. Come on, Daryl. We're out of here.
They grab her by the dick.
And she grabbing him by the dick as they get kicked out the goddamn theater.
What's up, basketball goat? Sounds fishy. Yeah.
Smells fishy too, probably.
Yeah.
Smell like that trout. Yeah, but
3 or 4 votes.
Yeah, but yeah, all them other hoes that they thought popping their thought pocket and all that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, most of them go vote for, Kamala Harris or whatever like that. Megan Thee Stallion ass, right? Her ass should be in prison right now, lying on Tory Lane. She good for getting guys locked up. Ain't gonna lie on CBS this morning with Stale King ass. Talking about she ain't never had sex with Tory Lane, knowing she was bouncing off that motherfucking pogo stick.
She said she never had sex with Tory Lanez.
Yeah, that's what she told Stale King.
I swear, man, this is the age of cap, man.
Yeah. But yeah.
And why does a woman call herself a stallion?
I don't know.
She trying to tell us something?
Giddy up. That's what Tory Lanez told her, and I look what Tory Lanez. Pussy get you put in jail, anybody. Free Tory Lanez, goddammit. Giddy up.
What's up, the sporting page? Hey, I was trying to tell you this earlier. Did you see what Terrence Ross said about LeBron's Olympic performance?
There was a big yes button and there was a big no button. I clicked that's not me, and my phone took it from there.
If you become a victim of identity theft,
Oh, what do you say?
You swallow your tongue, LB? Oh, I thought you swallowed your tongue.
No.
Well, look, I mean, he called the GOAT fine. I don't really care about that. Let's still pay your fine,
Bad.
you know. But even though goats eat their own shit, but people need to
Bad.
know that they do eat their own feces. But anyway,
Yep.
he killed me with this. He said LeBron, the thing that swayed in him that LeBron's a GOAT is that LeBron carried the Olympic team to the gold medal.
What was he watching? Was he playing this on 2K? What the fuck was Terrence watching? What the fuck was he watching?
Man, I don't know, bro. He said that, yeah.
Somebody trying to get a job in the media.
Yeah. He said, yeah, Steph did his thing the last 2 games, but LeBron made it possible with his leadership and facilitating.
Somebody go get him. He's dancing like a stripper. Right away.
Man, I said, man, this is sad, bro. Okay, look, man, if you think LeBron a GOAT, fine. Do we gotta mix stuff up now? I mean, this ain't like it happened in 1974. Like we know what we just saw, right? Did we just see what we just saw last month?
Look, I don't know where he got that from, but it seemed like somebody is trying to get a job. I mean, how you gonna sit up there and blatantly tell a lie like that? How you gonna sit up there and say that? Oh, well, he was so compelling. You know what? See, that's why I kind of stopped doing basketball debates, right? Because it goes nowhere. You got this. I mean, you got.
It's not even genuine anymore. It's not authentic.
It's being disingenuous, man. Look, I know what I saw. I'm letting none of you whole ass niggas come out here and wolf that bullshit to me and make me think it's potpourri. But I know it's not. Okay, if that's what you want to think, Terrence Ross, right? Yeah, you had a dunk on the manimal that was, some John Blaze shit. But at the end of the day, you telling lies on TV. Shaba!
Yeah, man. That's why I calmed down a lot on talking about that stuff. I used to talk about it like every damn day, but I saw that and I just said, man, this is unbelievable, man. It's they don't have it. That shows really how little they think of all of us and how little they think of their fan base. They could just make up anything. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is,
Yeah, it's just. I mean, let's just flood the market with a whole bunch of bullshit, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like, the thing about it with me is, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea to talk about this stuff, but I don't really care if someone thinks LeBron's a GOAT. I don't care. Like, that's not, contrary to popular opinion, I don't care if you think he's a GOAT. Because I don't know if people forget this or not, but I don't think Michael Jordan's a GOAT. I think it was Will Chamberlain. But,
right.
But my problem is when you start lying. I don't like when people lie. Don't say, oh, in 1989, people saying Mike was the GOAT. No, they weren't. Stop lying.
Yeah, people were not saying that in 1989. People were, if anything, people was like getting on him for his failures to win a championship.
Right. He was a scoring champion that didn't win. Scoring champions are selfish. They don't win titles, and he doesn't make the players around him better. I remember what they were saying. They weren't calling him the GOAT.
Yeah, they were calling him no GOAT in 1989. I'm like, man, anybody look, if a motherfucker were born around that time frame, they can't tell you nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This out there just telling lies just to be saying shit that sound good and all that. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I'm gonna run with this bullshit right here. See who could come in and see his cat. What the what? Look, it get on my nerve, man. Look, I got better things to do. All right, I got hoes to fuck. I got places to travel. I got food to eat. Can't be coming home every time some basketball player say some dumb shit. And you know
Right.
this is only in basketball. You don't see in no other major sport where former players are trashing current players and shit like that.
I have a theory as to what that is. Part of it, I think, is basketball fans in this country tend to be younger. Like overall, like median age, they're younger. They utilize the media. Well, when I say media, I mean social media a lot more. So they're a little bit more susceptible to misinformation, and it's also the culture. I don't know how true this is, but I've read that about 40% of American of NBA American fans are black, and there's already with us a tendency in the culture for the disrespect of our heritage, disrespect and misinformation becomes our history. And I look at it like it's a microcosm of that going on in the media. Pit, really, to me, when you're pitting Jordan fans against LeBron fans, it's really just pitting a generation against another generation, or finding these different reasons to have us fighting amongst each other. And at the end of the day, it's just basketball. And I hate when it gets into this other stuff that doesn't have anything to do with basketball. Because, like you said, like you just said, let somebody disrespect Babe Ruth. Let somebody say Aaron Judge is better than Babe Ruth, and see what happens to that person in basketball. I mean, excuse me, in baseball. They talk ish about Mickey Mantle or all of their heroes and see how far that goes. It's not going to go nowhere because they respect their history, and that's why I push, like, you don't have to think somebody's the GOAT that they played in 1970, but just stop saying dumb stuff. Stop saying if you put KD in 1975, he's gonna win 15 times in a row. That's so stupid. That's such a lazy, dumb, ignorant argument.
Right. Like I said, you don't see that in no other sport where you got Barry Sanders being disrespected by Saquon Barkley, or Josh Jacobs is disrespecting Gale Sayers, or you got motherfuckers like Justin Jefferson disrespecting T.O. You just don't see that in no other sport.
Mm-mm.
Only in basketball, when you got motherfuckers like J.J. Redick talking shit about Jerry West or Bob Cousy, whatever like that, right? And they don't even put the shit in its proper context. That's why, look, J.J. Redick, if you just happen to be listening to my video, whatever like that, one, don't be sending me no bullshit ass cease and desist letters for what? All right.
Right.
For two, I cannot wait till you botch this shit, right? Because all that shit you said to Doc Rivers, talk about how he can't coach and all that. Matter of fact, Doc Rivers the only one that put your ass in the starting lineup, right? Everybody wants you to come off the bench. When you go out there and louse this up, and I have good faith that you will, right? Because people will say that you're out there like you're supposed to be the second coming to Pat Riley, and that is so goddamn disrespectful. Anyway, when you louse this up, I'm gonna be on you like how flies on top of a piece of shit. You can best believe that.
And I'm gonna tell you something else too. I got all respect in the world for Magic Johnson, but sorry, Magic. Nope. Ain't no patience with him. Nope.
No, he gets no patience. He gets no wiggle room.
Nope.
None.
No patience with Darvin Ham. Nope. From the get go, when they lose, I think it'll be a lot of that. I'm flaming them because, like you said, he disrespected and played down, the success of Doc Rivers. Nope, I ain't forget all that.
And then on top of that, can you see Doc Rivers talking down on people that he talking down on these players, knowing with these players knowing that they were better than him when he played?
Nope.
The minute, man, look, I can see a situation he could call himself trying to talk down on Christian Wood, and Christian Wood pulls Latrell Sprewell on his ass. What you say to me, Honky?
If I'm not mistaken, I think I read, didn't Christian Wood just have surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, somebody wanted to ask. Oh, that's what it was. Speaking of baseball, wonder what's going on with this power outage with Aaron Judge all of a sudden.
I don't know. I don't know. I think teams are like teams. Just, I mean, you got pitchers that don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
I guess that's what's going on because he hasn't.
He has a home run in a couple weeks.
He has like unless he hit one last night. I haven't heard anything about it. He has a 12 or 13 game homeless streak.
Yeah, he didn't hit a home run last night. It was Austin Wells and another dude.
Yeah, so it's a 13 game homeless streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was on pace to hit like 65 home runs, but he's falling off pace.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, he's having a great season. Still, this is what
he's going to be the league. He's going to be the MVP for the American League,
right? And this is what his third season of 50 homers or more.
Yeah,
I think it's his third. His rookie year he hit 52. Last year he hit 62, and he has 51. Yeah, so it's his third.
Aaron Judge didn't participate in the home run derby.
He didn't.
He didn't. He didn't participate in the home run derby.
No. Not said.
Not this year. He did.
No. I was saying this is just. Or somebody said that in the chat that he.
Yeah, somebody said he participated in the home run derby this year. I'm like, no, he didn't.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
No, I watched the home run derby. He wasn't in it. Matter of fact, he declined. They asked him to be in it. He declined it.
What, he just didn't want to participate, or?
Yeah, he didn't want to participate in it because of what we talked about as far as like getting burnt out and shit.
Right. Right. I thought it was interesting that Caitlin Clark didn't participate in 3-point contests in the WNBA.
Man, look.
That got swept under the radar.
Yeah, man, look. Every time I talk about Caitlin Clark, man, the trolls just come for me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I saw that, man. I almost said something, but I didn't want to get flagged. I saw that, man. That dude, I hate when people say do your research. I saw that crap.
And that motherfucker lied, man. I even provided him the link to check the video where Caitlin Clark did the Tony Yayo, and I look, it's not John Cena's pose, it's Tony Yayo's pose. Tony Yayo did the whole "you can't see me" stuff.
Right.
John Cena admitted that on the Tonight Show, that he got that from Tony Yayo. So I don't know why people keep saying, "Oh, that's John Cena stuff." It's not. It's Tony Yayo. G Unit.
Well,
G Unit.
Some people just refuse to give credit to certain people.
Right.
They just gotta give
man,
it. Yeah.
I had a lot of Caitlin Clark stands and a lot of women coming up in there, and of course they projected their anti-black racism and all that and stuff like that. But that don't change the truth. And I'm gonna keep cooking Caitlin Clark because she's the great white hope.
Yep.
Is that just Judy?
This is the thing, like, okay, they keep saying, well, Angel Reese fans, I mean, they hard too. They be talking trash about Caitlin Clark. I mean, yeah, you could say that, yeah, but this the thing, like, if Caitlin Clark if Angel Reese fans do talk trash about Caitlin Clark, it's usually as a defense. It's defensive. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, okay, people call me a Caitlin Clark hater, but why is that? Was it that I just observed her and said, "Oh man, she's garbage. Man, she's this and she's that." Most people, I'm not saying there aren't some, but for the most part, to me, Caitlin Clark fans had a problem with Angel Reese doing that "you can't see me" thing to her, which to me, in any other venue, any other time place, is within the grounds of basketball. It's trash talking. But magically, for some reason, we can't. She's exempt from the rules. You can't talk to her. You got to show her the proper respect. Um, you can't foul her, or it's going to be or if you do foul her, it's going to be some type of congressional hearings and investigation into it.
Yep, this overblown, over the top bullshit.
And like I said, if we do say stuff about it, it's more of a reaction. It's a defense. It's defensive. Like with them, with some of them, it's more offensive. They keep attacking Angel Reese. I know what I saw. She got attacked.
Yep. If she's out there trash talking folks, then she's competitive. She has this fire in her. She's a leader. She's such an inspirator and all this other shit. But if Angel Reese does it, oh, she's classless. She's a hood rat. You need to punish her because this is beyond discriminatory towards a white girl and all this other stupid ass shit, right?
And that's another thing. I hate when I'm not talking about all Caitlin Clark fans. I got some Caitlin Clark fans subscribing to Patreon, and I know all of them ain't like that. Like Sean is. I'm not all of them like that. But what gets on my nerves is they try to sometimes flip it. Like we are attacking Caitlin Clark. Somehow we're the ones initiating this. Now, we only hate Caitlin Clark because she's white. That gets on my damn nerves. You only hate Caitlin Clark because she's white. Or, LB, you guys only have a problem with her because she's white. If she was black, y'all wouldn't care. Really? So why we never attack Sue Bird?
Or Sabrina Ionescu.
Right. Or
Rebecca Lobo.
Or Rebecca Lobo.
Or Diana Taurasi.
What's her name? Diana Taurasi. We never attacked them. They're white. I think Diana Taurasi is the greatest, as far as her career, the greatest WNBA player of all time. Now, if I was on some BS, I could say Cynthia Cooper. I could
Lisa Leslie.
Right, Lisa Leslie. I could just be naming black players.
Or Cheryl Swoops.
Right. But I think when I look at the resume, I'm not saying she's the most talented, but resume-wise, I think that Diana Taurasi has the most impressive resume I've seen. And she's still balling at age 41, 42. So that's BS. I just get tired of that. Like, oh, you only attacking her because she's black. Because she's white.
Right. She ain't never won nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but yeah, she's supposed to be this like, but they projected her as a winner, and she ain't won nothing. It's like you give somebody the castle before they earn the crown.
Yeah, I just don't understand that, man. I just don't understand, like any other sport, you could be a great player, but the goal is to win a championship, but somehow that doesn't apply to her. Somehow she's not supposed to, whatever, man. It's just crazy. Then, Angel Reese and South Carolina Gamecocks get penalized for winning because nobody even talk about them.
Yeah, because goddamn Steel King, that's why I had a problem with her Angela Bassett Hound looking ass. Sitting up there talking about, oh man, everybody wanted Iowa to win. Bitch, everybody ain't wanted Iowa to win. The fuck you talking about? Because I can guarantee you, anybody from South Carolina did not want Iowa to win. The fuck you mean, talking about? Oh man, the whole nation wanted Iowa to win. The fuck out of here, still, okay?
Well, you know,
Go back to doing what you're doing best. Wear them stilettos to cover up them goddamn hammer tools you got.
you got some bodacious bunions. You know,
hammer top, hammer top, hammer top.
when she says America, you know what she really means.
Yeah, white America.
Yeah, that's what she means.
Well, too raw. I think I'm gonna call it a night now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna end this now too, man. So it's been real talking to you. It's been nice watching this horrible debate with you guys. Y'all made it enjoyable. They didn't. The debate sucks, but y'all made it enjoyable. Good to have
Yeah, we
LB
had to
on
make it a
here.
comedy hour.
Hey, it was nice having you on the stream for once.
Yeah.
It was nice having LB on the stream. Y'all, please subscribe to his channel, the Sports and Political channel of LB. And before I go, I want to once again say rest in peace to the late, great James Earl Jones.
Yeah, rest in peace to the late, great Mufasa and Darth Vader. You know, he's a one of one. There'll never be another like him, man.
Never will be, man. So that's all I got to say in this one, man. See you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Peace out.